What's happening, guys, and welcome back to NBA Reloaded. We're going to talk about the legend and the GOAT of the NBA himself, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan had an impressive professional career as a basketball player. He was a crowd pleaser and an excellent shooter. Jordan started his career as an NBA player when he was picked in the 1984 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls in the third pick of the season after Hakeem Olajuwon Houston Rockets and Sam Bowie Portland Trail Blazers. The reason why he wasn't selected as a first pick by the previous two teams was that they were looking for a center. Debut in the NBA. Jordan made his debut on October 26, 1984 at the Chicago Stadium, where he scored 16 points. During his freshman 1984-85 season with the Bulls, Jordan averaged 28.2 points per game on 51.5% shooting. He quickly became a fan favorite even in opposing arenas because of his outstanding performance. But the controversy arose before the 1985 NBA All-Star Game when word surfaced that several veteran players, led by Isaiah Thomas, were upset by the amount of attention Jordan was receiving. This led to a so-called freeze-out on Jordan, where players refused to pass the ball to him throughout the game. Even with the ongoing controversy, Jordan stayed unaffected by it and remained focused on the game. He returned to regular season play and was still voted the NBA Rookie of the Year. On August 26, 1985, a jaw-hanging incident occurred during the Nike exhibition game in Trieste, Italy, where Jordan shook the whole stadium by breaking the glass of the backboard with a dunk. This moment plays a huge role in making Jordan's career in the future of the NBA. The shoes which Jordan wore during the game were auctioned in August of 2020 and sold for $615,000, which is a record for a pair of sneakers. Foot injury. Unfortunately, the 1985-86 season was cut short for Jordan when he broke his foot in the third game, which then caused him to miss 64 games, even though he wasn't able to fully participate in the season, which cost the Bulls a big miss. Jordan eventually recovered and participated in the postseason, where he gave his best performance against the Boston Celtics team that's often considered one of the greatest in NBA history. Jordan scored 63 points, a record that still stands today. In the same season, Jordan scored 37.1 points average per game, a scoring average that no other player has reached since then. Michael Jordan was the greatest player in the history of the NBA. His raw personality and the determination and energy he used to give in every single game of his were remarkable. Consider this passage from a 1983 New York Times profile. He's a well-proportioned 6'6", 190-pounder who can play either guard or forward. He's fast, having run the 40-yard dash in 4.3 seconds. Comeback after the foot injury. In the 1986-87 season, Jordan fully recovered from his injury and was determined to give his best throughout the season. He didn't disappoint and gave one of the most impressive performances in NBA history by scoring 3,000 points in the season. He was the second player to score such an impressive score after Wilt Chamberlain. In addition, Jordan demonstrated his defensive prowess as he became the first player in NBA history to score 200 steals and 100 blocked shots in a season, but despite Jordan's impressive performance, Magic Johnson won the NBA MVP award. In the next season, between 1987 to 88, Jordan scored averaging 35 points per game on 53.5% shooting, and he won his first league MVP award. He led his team to some big wins that season. The Bulls finished 50-32 and made it out of the first round of the playoffs for the first time in Jordan's career as they defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. In the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Bulls lost in 5 games to the more experienced Detroit Pistons, who were led by Isaiah Thomas and a group of physical players known as the Bad Boys. Jordan was also named the NBA Defensive Player that same year. Then, in the 1989 and 90 season, the Chicago Bulls, with their core group of Jordan and young improving players like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant, and under the guidance of their new coach Phil Jackson, led the Bulls to a 55-27 record win. They even made it to the finals, again advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals after beating the Bucks and Philadelphia 76ers, but would later lose to the Detroit Pistons. On June 14, 1998, leaving the series 3-2, Jordan played one of the most intense games ever, also considered to be one of the greatest clutch performances in NBA Finals history and nerve-wracking for the fans. With 10 seconds remaining, Jordan started to dribble right, then crossed over to his left, possibly pushing off Russell, although the officials didn't call a foul. With 5.2 seconds left, Jordan made the climactic shot of his Bulls' career, a top-key jumper over a stumbling Russell to give Chicago an 87-86 lead. Afterward, John Stockton narrowly missed a game-winning three-pointer, and the buzzer sounded as Jordan and the Bulls won their 6th NBA championship. The credit obviously goes to MJ for his excellent showcase of talent. Jordan retired for the second time on January 13th, 1999, and even though he said he certainly won't be making a comeback in the NBA as a player, he went back on his words by making a comeback in 2001, but with a new team this time, the Washington Wizards, where he wasn't much seen in the first season due to suffering a torn cartilage in his right knee, and he only managed to play 60 games that season. Last season before the retirement. With rumors that the 2002-03 season would be Jordan's final season, tributes were paid to him throughout the NBA. In his final game on April 16, 2003 at the United Center in Chicago, which was his old home court, Jordan received a 4-minute standing ovation. After scoring 13 points in the game, Jordan went to the bench with 4 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Just after the start of the fourth quarter, the First Union Center crowd began chanting, "We want Mike." After much encouragement from the coach and the chants from the fans, he re-entered the game. After the game, Jordan received a 3-minute standing ovation from his teammates, his opponents, the officials, and the crowd of 21,257 fans. Gambling scandal. While scoring some big hits for his team on the court, Jordan was also very much known for the controversies and scandals because of his rising popularity. One of the most talked about controversies was the gambling one, which became a reality when a night before a game against New York Knicks, Jordan was seen gambling in Jersey. In the previous year, he admitted that he had to cover $57,000 in gambling losses, and the author Richard Esquinas wrote a book in 1993 claiming that he won $1.25 million from Jordan on the golf course. David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA, denied in 1995 and 2006 that Jordan's 1993 retirement was a secret suspension by the league for gambling, but the sources and rumors claim otherwise. Would Michael Jordan be successful in the current NBA era? Aside from the controversies, one of the things which made MJ the legend of his time was his ridiculous stamina and the techniques that made him different from other players of the 80s and 90s. He used to put huge points despite playing in the early 80s when the opportunities to score big points were limited due to the physical nature of the game. Current Charlotte Bobcats coach Larry Brown said if Jordan played in the league now, he would average 50 points per game. Well, that shouldn't really be a surprise for NBA fans. Jordan was a classic basketball player, and if he was playing in the current era of the NBA right now, then he'd definitely be at the top. When in his time, he used to score 30 points per game on average, then he'd surely be able to score at least 40 points in today's unphysical games. The way he used to shoot high-range shots, his powerful dunks, and his great stamina would probably set him apart in the current era of the NBA. To compete against the best player in the game right now, such as LeBron James, Dwight Howard, and Nate Robinson, and yeah, let's not forget the legend Kobe Bryant, would be an absolute treat for fans. Well guys, this is where we bid our farewells. If you enjoyed the video, then let us know by smashing that like button, and do let us know your thoughts on whether you think Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time in NBA history. Also, if you haven't done so already, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of more juicy NBA content like this going forward. We'll be back here again with another fun and informative video for you. Until then, stay tuned, and we'll see you later.